Well, hello there trainers, greetings, KuroBlitz here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm here to just give my overall thoughts about the ending of the Arc 3 of Pokemon the series Horizons, that being the Terastal debut. I really enjoy it. It was quite a breath of fresh air. We don't have like an adventure like this since X and Y with Kalos. And as a trio dynamic, we haven't had that since, the Decolor Islands with the Best Wishes trio from the Unova region. It was quite enticing. I do like that, the gym leaders actually were able to, show all of their worth. And they were able to, be teachers and mentors. Because sadly, during the Ash era, their fate was to lose. Even if they won it the first time. And I thought it was very cool, having Liko with Katie and Grusha, Roy with Brassius and Rhyme, and Dot with Iono and Larry. It was very cool. Even the elite tag matches was cool, and the student tournament was, a nice analog to the Ace Academy stuff from the games. It's awesome. And we get to see Penny's characterization post Team Star, so that's also nice. Like, we got Namona in the first Paldea visit, and now Penny in the second, but they are teasing Arven. And I think that's because in the end of Arc 4 or the beginning of Arc 5, that might be already be finished writing, or they are planning already, Arven's role for that. Because this is basically a soft sequel, because Herba Mystica are commonplace since episode 14, so who propagated them? Is there even a Titan lore for Arven? Was Mabostiv injured? Does he have Koraidon? That's, things that we will get later on for Area Zero, because Geeta is going to take the kids there because she's the one who's a champion rank, right? She's La Primera. And I think it's very cool that they are already planting the seeds for not the next arc, but the arc that, it comes ahead. So there's that. And we see, a lot of Paldea. We see, the countryside, we see the desert. Like, when they re-meet Anne before going to the school, like in the middle of the season, they are on the stony cliff where Cloth is meant to be. And it's really enticing. Speaking of Anne, side tangent, but now that she has two Pokemon that are, prefecture mascots for Japan, kind of makes me wonder if she'll get, others like Executor, Vulpix. Now we have an Ampharos, so there's that. So it's cool that we are seeing stories of the protagonist, but other stories are already being told or were told. So it is a nice touch. And even in the ending of this arc, we see Florigato versus Fuecoco, so they were foreshadowing the final battle of the arc since the very beginning of it, which is very cool. I do appreciate it. And Liko, when it comes to her battling, I feel like people need to understand that she battles for survival, not really for sport like Ash did. So she needs to basically be comfortable on the battlefield, and she needs to basically learn how to be herself more and to have fun. And that's what, Katie and Rika had during their tag team, which is cool. Poppy didn't have much of a role, but I didn't expect much from Poppy in this one. As for the other characters, Clavel did his part. And Geeta also did her part, and the explorers were also, with Rakurian, with Spinel, and even Kalchi, being infiltrated in the school. It was a nice touch. The Ryford episode was okay, so at least we now know that Rakua is not Area Zero because it's 100 days from Paldea. For all that we know, it might be in Kanto. Again, like, the treasure they sought was closer to home than they would believe. So it is a nice touch. I really do appreciate that. Now, when it comes to, Coral and Cedian, they got the Terra Orbs, so there's that. I'm kind of disappointed we don't see Coral's second Pokemon, because the students for the courses, they would need two. And we know that, Cedian has an Aerodactyl, and Kalchi has, Zatu now, so which is cool. I kind of wish that, we saw one more from Coral. But maybe they are saving it for later. And then, Ametio being betrayed and basically sold out, and now he's going to leave the Explorers. Everyone believes he's going to get the Zuko arc, which I get it, but maybe not for Kitakami and Cleavor, maybe for only the Entei. Like, maybe he's going to lay low. I don't want for him to join the RVTs just yet or immediately. even though Liko invited him, it feels like something out of despair if he would do it at first. So there's that. But it really is very interesting. This arc was, very well paced. But there is a catch to this. In the first episode, we see Liko with her parents, and Luca is a teacher, but we don't know where exactly. Probably not in Naranja Academy, because we don't see her there. We see Ryford. We don't see Saguaro, Salvatore, Miriam, and Time. Like, for Miriam, Salvatore, and Saguaro, I was not expecting at all. But Time is Rhyme's sister, so I was expecting her at least. Granted, she's a mathematician, so I don't know how they would work around her here. So there's that. I kinda wish that we got to see at least the Team Star bosses as students, but this is not their story, so it's very whatever. As for the other teachers, we saw Jacques and Dendra, and they were just around realistically, so I think it's because in the games, attending the classes is not mandatory, so the anime decided to go with that approach of, not having all teachers being mandatory presence. Which, fair, maybe they will have cameos in the return after Kitakami. Because I would like to imagine that we are going to Kitakami. Maybe Entei will be in Johto if they want to see Johto, but it doesn't need to be in that region. For all we know, it could be in Kalos, like Lapras was in Galar, and Lapras did not Gigantamax at all. So there's that. Maybe they can. Maybe after Kitakami they go to Blueberry, but Blueberry is more so a pit stop than anything else, because there's no need to have the League Club and the Blueberry Elite Four there. But we are going to see the Festival of Masks, so it makes me wonder: is Lucius's Cleavor an analog to Blood Moon Ursaluna? It makes me wonder that, especially because we have the Festival of Masks, so it makes me wonder if this is a Paldea sequel to the games. Does it mean that Kieran is in Blueberry chilling with Ogerpon? Like, is this Kieran's happy ending? Did he have a good sister in Carmine in this reality? To the point where Ogerpon joined him in the prior Festival of Masks? I guess that we have to find and see. Or maybe Ogerpon could go to a Meteo, because Liko has Terapagos, and that way Roy would get Koraidon and Dot would get Miraidon because of past and future. It's a possibility. We'll see how they'll do it. So Arvin and Kieran are very lingering fruits, so we will save them for later. Like, this plot is not about them. Like, even in other anime, we didn't got Silver, but due to that we got Paul. We never got Wally, so we got Sawyer. Barry shows up in the middle of Diamond and Pearl. Sharon only got one episode in Best Wishes. We never even got Yu or Benga. The Kalos Rivals had a summer camp, so it was okay. Gladion was very privileged of showing up early, granted that's because only of the Aether family arc. And poor Hao, poor Hop, and poor Marnie. They only got one episode each. And even Bede, like, Bede doesn't even get, to avenge Sherman Rose after Ash basically makes him disappear. I love Rinto, but it would be cool if it was Bede battling Ash's Farfetch. Especially because Farfetch did not participate in the Darkest Day Crisis, so there's that. But that's semantics. The battle was cool between Liko and Roy, but I kinda wish it was a double battle. But choreography aside, and only them having two Pokemon, that's what allows for the battle to, take the whole episode, and for all of the character interactions to happen. Gita tells Liko to, one day challenge the Paldea League. I feel like that will happen, but in a montage clip in the epilogue of the series. In the final episode, during that montage of what characters are doing, I feel like we're going to see Liko face gyms. Because Nemona and Roy have a dynamic, Penny and Dot have a dynamic, so Liko would have a dynamic with Arvin, and Arvin in the post-game of Blueberry, he's challenging the gyms for fun, so maybe Liko will do that too. But yeah, I kinda wish we saw more of Liko's parents in this arc. As for the gym leaders, we saw all of them. Realistically, we saw all of them because Tulip was battling with Onyx and Sidian. Tulip was battling with Sidian, and Kofu was battling with Coral. But that's the only time we see them. Is like a snippet in episode 55, and I have to wonder why. And this is just my conspiracy theory, but Cascarafa and Alfornada are the most Portuguese cities in the Paldea region, so it makes me wonder, did the anime wanted to portray Paldea as only Spanish and they deleted the Portuguese-inspired cities, like how Game Freak deleted Portugal from, the Iberian representation of the entire Paldea region? I don't know. All I know is that more of the reason to hate this region, and I'm glad that this arc was just a training arc, it was the needed interlude, and we are not going to be here anymore. We are not going to be in this open world wasteland anymore. When we return, it's the crater, which realistically, it's not even part of the region. And I'm glad for that. I'm very, very much glad for that. And now the kids have the Terra Orbs, Liko protected the school, they were, praised as heroes. And in the audio dramas, people want to shake Liko's hand, get Dot's autographs, taking pictures with Roy, so the kids are, being praised by their heroics. And even in the first audio drama, we do see, the Elite Four having lunchtime in Messagosa, and they are very proud of the progression of the kids, like all four of them, so that's really cool to see. I am really, appreciative of that. But there is a caveat to this. The Pokémon. While the starters are very well rounded and very well presented, it's very clear that these kids are not going to have teams of 6. They are not. They are very much akin to Digimon tamers than Pokemon trainers. This was a sentiment I had with Mallow in Sun and Moon. Because a Digimon tamer can tame 3 Digimon and have 8 in the back seat, so they can have 11 at a time. So there's that. And the thing about Horizons is that people need to understand this. Pokemon Horizons, it's not a Pokemon anime, it's an anime with Pokemon in it. So I'm seeing a lot of manga shoujo parallels in this, and I knew I saw this before, and it was with the Diamond and Pearl chapter of Pokemon Adventures, because Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum have 2 Pokemon each, so the trio, while traveling, they have a team of 6 all together. And I realized this before. Platinum got 6 badges in 25 days, that being 4 volumes. In the beginning of volume 5, they separated their own unique ways, only to reunite with each other at the end, and they would all have full teams. That's the only way I can see this happen. Like, after getting the 6 heroes, they will separate. Maybe they are going to postpone Rakwa, maybe they are going to have a crisis happen related to Zygarde or not, who knows. But it would be cool if the kids, got separated after accomplishing what they need to do before going to the final paradise place, and like, boom, crisis happens, it postpones it. Most likely because ZA got delayed, because the Switch 2 got delayed, and therefore this generation is going to have an extra year, so they're going to basically do mental gymnastics to make this work, but at least with this generation it does make sense if that so happens to be the case. Because in any other series, these kids would have 4 Pokemon at least at this point. Particularly Liko and Roy would have 4, with Dot having 3 most likely. But as for the Rising Volt Tacklers, everyone has 2 Pokemon each, except Molly. I want for Molly to have a second Pokemon at the very least. I feel like the kids should adopt and acquiesce with the airship Pokemon as time goes by. And because they're not doing anything in the Brave Asagi, so it would make sense that they would, get them. Like, let Liko get Snorunt, let Dot have Sinistea, have Roy. I don't know. I'm not remembering anyone. Like I feel like Muk should be Freed's, because Freed would get, Ash Pokemon, and it's an Alolan Muk, so we would actually have something to do. So there's that. But I really like, the battle. The chatting was good. I just wish the kids had more Pokemon now. Like, sometimes you don't need to bond with the Pokemon before capturing them. Sometimes you can just capture them and you bond with them later. Ash did this, funny enough, with Muck. Did with Palpitoad too. So I would not mind that. And especially because Liko is developing into an empath of understanding Pokemon emotion. I feel like she could have, I kind of want her to have a Jangmo because Hakumoho are very, prideful, so there's that. She would have a Paldea, Galar, and a Alola Pokemon, especially because her team is also about fairy tales. You have Puss in Boots, you have Rapunzel and the Witch Tower with Hatterene, and you have the dragon and the knight that defeats the dragon as a in-one package with, Hakumoho. I don't think Hatterene needs to evolve into Hatterene. I don't really think that she needs to evolve into Hatterene. Makes me wonder if the kids are going to get anything more. There are theories about EVs. If they were to get EVs, they would get the EVs of, Penny. Because I can see Roy with Vaporeon, I can see Liko with Flareon, and I can see Dot with Jolteon. They might get Kalos starters, but that begs the question if they're going to evolve or not. And there was never a show that focuses on the starters, and then we get, other starters to focus on. That feels very But yeah, I feel like the kids should have at least half a team. Like, not 4, but maybe 3 each. Because, well, looking back into the other arcs, the girls of Alola had 3 each. Chloe's an exception, not the rule here. Serena only had 3 at 89. Iris had 3 at 25. Dawn had 3 at 19, and May had 3 at like 47, something around those lines. So there's that. And Misty already had 3 from jump. It was Starmie and Goldeen. But it's very unfair to do these comparisons. Because Horizon is just so different, guys. And that's why I'm really enjoying it. And now for Kitakami, it really makes me wonder, because everyone is asking, where's Kieran, where's Kieran? I'm like, guys, Kieran had the whole plot in the game. I'm very excited that this shoujo anime is actually going to focus on the woman for once. Because if you play Scarlet and Violet, what do Perrin, Briar, and Carmine really do? They don't do much, or if anything at all. Briar just infodumps dialogue and lore, but she really doesn't do anything. She doesn't battle Terapagos with you. If anything, she manipulates you. Which I was expecting for her to manipulate Liko to go to the Crystal Pool, but no, it's going to be Diana taking Liko to the Crystal Pool, and we are going to see a figure. It looks like a woman. It could be Lucius, but the silhouette is just, designed to fool us. It could be Lucius's wife, or Lucius's daughter, that could or could not be Diana's mom, that had Lucius's briefcase and journal. It could be Liko from the future. That would be an amazing twist. But I like the theory of being Gibeon, and we paradoxically kickstart the Explorers and his obsession with Rakwa. That would be very unique if so. But yeah. I don't know, I just feel like the kids needed at least 3 Pokemon. And I kinda wish we saw more of double battles. But I'm excited for Kitakami, because we are going to see Carmine doing stuff besides being, in the shadows of her brother's story. Even in Blueberry, she just says, go beat Kieran, but she doesn't really do nothing. And the Perrin is going to be a pivotal role, because, she's going to collect data and inform everyone of, Cleavor. So don't expect a Blood Moon Ursaluna. It would be weird for the anime to show us the Blood Moon Ursaluna before showing a regular Ursaluna. So, yeah. But this is very interesting, and now we are going to see the 3 heroes battle, the kid starters to basically, prep them up. And that's just basically it, like the gist of it, I suppose. I do like how the hero Pokemon reflect the first HMs of, Generation 1. Because for Cut you get Cleavor, for Fly you get Moltres, for Surf you get Lapras, for Strength you get Entei, and for Flash you get Arboliva. And even if you give Fly to Rayquaza, you can add other HMs from future games. So Moltres would be Rock Smash because he was in the Galarian Mines, and therefore Terapagos will be defog because it sucks up Recurium. Which, by the way, that Recurium plot with Spinel and Umbreon going on that Berserk Gene / Shadow mode, that was awesome. And apparently they're opposites, so it makes me wonder if all Pokemon in ZA are going to get a Mega Evolution boost in terms of raising stats or whatever. It's going to be the Totem / Noble equivalent. But this time it's pink instead of yellow, so I like the color pink, so I cannot wait to, see more of that. But yeah, I really hope that, in Kitakami or whatever this Eastern arc it's going to be, it tackles both, Cleaver and Entei. I think we need to see Entei in this too. We need to see more of the adults. I want to see Mighty G again. But we need to see more of the Volt Tacklers now. And this is going to be a very lore heavy. Like the next 6 months, it's going to be very lore heavy. So I am really excited for that. But we need to focus more on the adults again. The kids are very well fleshed out, but I want for them to have at least 3 to 4 Pokemon by the end. It doesn't really have to be much. As for Crocolore, he was the last one to evolve, but I feel like they're going to pull a switch on that. I feel like we're going to get Skeledirge first, and then we get Quaquaval, and Meowscarada is going to be dead last. They would pull that twist of, Liko's was the first one to evolve into the middle stage, but she's the last one to evolve into the final stage. That's something very plausible for them to do. Kilowattrel has... I'm going to talk about Kilowattrel in a minute. Hatterene can stay as such, and I feel like, Tinkatink is going to evolve into Tinkatuff. I feel like she can stay as a Tinkatuff, because Tinkaton is more of a poppy Pokemon. Let her have as Tinkatuff. I think that's, better. I do like the microphone becoming a surround system for, an audio setting. If she was a Tinkaton, it would be like a boombox, like a surround system for recording or whatever. But let her stay as a Tinkatuff, like middle stage. Put an Eviolite on the hammer if items are to be a thing in this world. But I'm very excited for, even Liko has a great moveset now with Florigato. She has Quick Attack, Sucker Punch, Magical Leaf, and Acrobatics. That's cool. And even Roy, because Roy has Flame Charge, Flamethrower, Stopping Tantrum, Disarming Voice. Disarming Voice for Rayquaza. I think it could become a lowering voice. I feel like Flame Charge and Stopping Tantrum, they're going to be combined into one when it gets Skeledirge, and that's going to be Temper Flare. And therefore you get the Ghost move, because it's a Ghost type, probably Shadow Ball, because it's a projectile, and therefore Torch Song is going to become, the replacement for Flamethrower. Now, as for Kilowattrel has Uproar, Peck, and Spark, which is kinda dumb, because Kilowattrel, when it evolves, it learns Electro Ball, and Roy's doesn't display it. And I know games and anime are not the same thing, but why are they afraid of giving Kilowattrel Electro Ball? Are they afraid of giving bird Pokemon projectile attacks? That should not be the case, because Ash's Noctowl in DP, even if only for one episode, it had Air Slash and Extra Sensory, so I feel like it should have Electro Ball. Because there's no way they're going to animate Weather Ball for Kilowattrel. Roy doesn't have a Wayne setter to have, ground and rock coverage, sadly. But even other moves, like if it was Swift, or maybe he will replace Splack with, dual Wing Beat. Aerial Ace and Brave Bird are very standard, I kinda don't want that. But yeah, Kilowattrel, you got a win, but it was against Hatterene, so I don't know if that really counts as much. So, yeah, dude, I don't know. but it's cool you got the W. And the animation from Oshida in this episode was absolutely stellar. Pun intended? I don't know. But it was cool that the kids were, able to go all out. So, that's awesome to see. Makes me wonder what's going to be the upgrades on the Brave Asagi in the next episode. Like in the beginning of Arc 4. it really, makes me curious, like if the upgrades are more mechanical, more visual, and I don't want to be in Kitakami in the month of October. We have 11, 18, 25th, and then 3 episodes of travel, and then we get to Kitakami in episode 71. Take a time, like maybe month of October we acquiesce back to the adults. Like we like maybe we see Freed's third Pokemon. And we need to see more of what Ameteo is doing. And honestly, it makes me wonder if Zerk and Onia are going to, show up again, because they were his bodyguards, allegedly. So, yeah, it does make me wonder of that. But Horizon's in a good place. I'm very happy with the results. I'm very happy that we are not going to tackle Paldea anymore. Thank God. Thank God, but it makes me wonder what regions we're going to see next, before or after Rakwa. They would do, probably Johto because of Kitakami. I don't want to see Unova, there's no need. Especially if Blueberry is just a pit stop, just to get intel on Area 0 if we're going to actual Area 0. Because you cannot have an arc in Blueberry. Blueberry is not a part of a region, it's a school in the middle of the ocean. You cannot be there for 20 episodes, I'm sorry. Besides, the kids don't have any need to go to study again. Because even in this arc, they were not really studying. It was more, self-study, if anything. They were part in a course. It's like, they were not really in school, they were like basically getting their driver's license for terrestrialization. So there's that. We are probably going to be in Kalos, and I would love for the anime to do the impossible and the unthinkable. Let us visit South Kalos. Let us visit parts of Kalos that are not even in the game. That would be amazing. I would love to see that. Basically, Orange Islands Decolor Archipelago situation. Do that. But yeah, now going back to the Festival of Masks, makes me wonder if Kieran got Ogerpon and the Loyal Tree were never reawakened, are they going to be reawakened? Is Roy going to meet Is anyone going to meet Peturant? Peturant is going to awaken the Loyal Tree. Is Peturant going to possess Ursaluna? And Cleavor is in battle damage because of that? Is the Timeless Woods going to be Pokemon Fight Club? We do not speak of it. I'm curious and I'm excited. So yeah, trainers, thank you so much for listening. Let me know in the comment section down below what are your thoughts about Pokemon Horizons thus far, and even the ending of Arc 3 Terastal debut. But yeah, these were just my random ramblings. So make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And this was really very enticing. I hope I can do more of this later down the line. So thank you so much for the support. I will see you next time. KuroBlitz out.